Hello everybody, welcome to our studio show here, MXGPTV.com live, as always from the circuit. This time it's round 13, the MXGP of Asia, and we're at Semarang. And I tell you what, it's a beautiful track we've got here as well. We've got a fantastic studio show lined up for you as well. We've got Paul Jonas, Tim Geiser and Jeremy Seawer. But before we meet any of those guests, Lisa Leyland, we're slightly more south, further south than we were a week ago. It's not humid, but it's a lot hotter, isn't it? I bet you're loving it.
I am loving it. I am.
But very chilled and relaxed.
I'm just chilling out. But I'll tell you what, Semarang is such a beautiful city, and we saw some wonderful places yesterday on our media event. And the people have just totally welcomed MXGP. So it's been a really kind of cool vibe this week here.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, look, let's crack on with the studio show. Our first guest is in position, ready to go. Paul Jonas, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, and current championship leader in MX2. Welcome to our studio show. Second half of the season, but second week in Indonesia now. What have you been doing since you've been here? Have you taken some time to sightsee, or has it been business as usual for you? Full gas?
Yeah, you know, like we were here 1 week in Indonesia. We came straight after the race on Monday to Semarang here, and it's a really nice city. We had a really nice hotel, so most of the time I spend in a hotel, in a gym, and a swimming pool. So training, relaxing at the same time, you know. Yeah, we couldn't ride the bike this week like we usually do in Europe, so you know it was a little bit different. We could spend more time with ourselves, you know, and some things like that. So it was good, you know. I enjoy here. Weather was good, so it was nice.
All right. Well, look, let's talk the season so far. Obviously, you come in as a defending champion. They say it's hard to win the title, but it's even harder to defend it. Is that what you're finding this year? Because you've never had to defend a title. You've won plenty of titles, but you've never hung around to defend them.
Yeah, you know, everyone was saying me before, you know, it will be more tough to defend the title than to win first one. So, you know, now this year I think I really feel it because, especially, you know, I am number one on my bike, and then, you know, all the riders on the track, they see it, you know, like, yeah, they all want to beat me, and that maybe makes it more tougher. But for me, you know, every time when I step the leg over the bike, I see the number one, then I know, you know, you need to be tough. You need to be tough. So. It's not easy, but you know, it's still a long way. I'm still leading the championship, so maybe last few rounds hasn't been so great, but you know, we are still up front, and that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Well, the first GPs couldn't have gone any better for you, so you must be more than happy with those. But like you said, the last few rounds, what happened in Trentino and Portugal? We just got it here.
Yeah, that was, you know, first 3 GPs went, I think, just way too good. You know, it was 6 wins out of 6, and then went to Trentino, and then Portugal just a little bit struggled and maybe lost a little bit of focus. And you know, when you lose the focus and a little bit, then it happens quick in motocross. So I think that was the biggest reason why I didn't win so good.
And you did look like you were gaining control of the championship. Russia, Latvia, Germany, and Matterley. You did seem more like your normal self.
Yeah, you know, those tracks I really like. You know, like in Russia. Home GP is always good, and Matterley, I really enjoy riding there. But like last weekend, you know, the tracks with really deep ruts are not my favorite ones, and there I a little bit struggle. So, you know, we have last few GPs where, let's say, in a deep ruts and a little bit muddy conditions. So I wasn't the best out there, but this weekend the track looks really good, and looking forward.
Well, as we said, the last GP that you took was Matterley, 2 wins. That's 4 rounds ago. Nothing wrong with that, but since then, you've seen a 28-point lead been cut now to 7. Have you been able to analyse and understand how the gap has come down? You know, was it just a poor start? Was it a silly crash? Was it, you know, have you been able to analyse it with Harry and the team? Yeah,
for sure. We after every race, we sit down and analyse what went wrong and what happened. But you know, like you said, last win was in Matterley, which was a really good win. You know, like you see now on the TV, that pass in the Sagamoro, I think that was one of my best races this season.
This was a great move around the outside.
Yeah, it was a really good race, and you know, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on top of the podium. It feels like forever. So you know, it's always, you know, if you don't get a good start, it's always difficult. And in the last few rounds, I struggle a bit with the starts, so that makes it more tough. But you know, no excuses. Need to keep fighting and to, you know, get some more points on Jorge.
Okay, well, Pancao Penang last weekend. Just how difficult was last weekend, especially in that second race? Because 1 minute you were second, and then by the end of the race you were in 7th. How do you deal with that situation?
Yeah, last week I was really disappointed about myself. Like first moto went pretty good, riding was good, but then second race got a good start, and actually the first laps I felt really good, but then just like in fourth or fifth lap, completely lost my rhythm, started to make silly mistakes, and that was just everyone got past me. When I went inside, they passed me outside. I went outside, they passed me inside. So, you know, I could go everywhere when they were passing me everywhere. So it was a little bit disappointing, and you know, like I said, I felt good in the beginning of the race, but then just after 4 or 5 laps, like completely braked, and was tough.
Well, this week we're in Semarang, new track, new location, new weekend. Still feeling positive though, right?
Yeah, feeling good, feeling good. Like I said, we spent 1 week here and had some time to think about everything and spend some time with myself. And you know, like the track is really good here, the weather is good, and looking forward for some good racing.
All right.
Okay, well, Pauls, we have a question for you on social media. This one's from MX Justin, and he says, what's the best advice Harry gives you about how to defend a championship? And why do you think you lost your rhythm in some of the races?
You know, Harry has been helping me really a lot, especially mentally. You know, he's really a champion in his mind, and he always want to win. And that's I think the best thing what he learned me. You know, the best thing how to defend the title is just to go out there and win. You know, just to be the best every time. Give your maximum, no excuses, and that's the best advice.
Okay, well, we've got about a minute or so to go. How is the track? I was out looking. Looks like it's going to be old school. Modern design, but very hard, very slick. I saw Joel Smets walking by here before, and I said hard pack, and he went, total control.
Yeah, for sure. Like, in a warm-up, yesterday we walked the track, it looked like it's going to be really nice, but the track is good. The layout is super nice. Just the dirt is strange. In some places, they rip it really deep. And then the takeoffs are so hard that you just go on a takeoff and you need really the throttle control. You cannot go full gas. So it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really fun. Depends how much they water the track, but for sure it's not going to be easy. You need a lot of throttle control here.
Yeah, well, hopefully you keep it on the track, and we'll see you on the top step of the podium this weekend.
Yeah,
who knows?
hopefully.
Paul Jonas, Red Bull KTM, everybody. Right, our next guest is in position. So before we meet Tim Geisler, let's check out what happened a week ago. Pankal Penang, here's MX2 Race 2.
On a rapidly drying track, Calvin Verlanderen took his first ever foxhole shot for Team HRC. And behind him, the two KTMs again of Jonas and Prado. Watson was also in the mix, so too Thomas Kjær-Olsen, David Puchis and Simone Fillotti. But again, the eyes were on the two KTMs. The LRT KTM 46 of David Puchis was in no mood for hanging around. He found his way into fifth with a move on Thomas Kjær-Olsen, as Watson was in a good mood as well, fighting with Jonas and Prado in the early stages of the race. Prado, though, found his way past Jonas, and the Latvians' race then started to fall apart. First, Watson would go through on his Khmer Yamaha, then the 46 of Puchis on the LRT KTM. All of a sudden, Jonas was languishing in around 5th place. He then got pushed down to 6th. That's Covington, your winner from race 1, also found his way past on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Puchis, though, made a mistake. An off-track excursion allowed a frustrated Covington through. The American would eventually come home in 4th place. Diogo Geerts also found his way past the defending champion. That move put the Belgian into 6th. Jonas would eventually come home in 7th. He needed favours, and he got one from Ben Watson, who found his way past Prado to give him back 2 more vital championship points. Watson was up to 2nd. But the Spaniard did not go down without a fight, and it took almost a full lap for Watson to eventually make the pass stick. Verlanderen, though, was in a class of his own. He took his first ever foxhole shot, his first ever race win, and with it, his first ever overall Grand Prix victory, the first for a South African since September 7th, 2008. Tyler Rattray picking up the win that day. Covington was 2nd overall, Prado 3rd, Watson and Jonas rounding out the top 5. Jonas now has a slender 7-point lead over his teammate Prado. The Spaniard picking up 2 points. A mixture of emotions on the podium. Valandrin happy with his win. Covington knowing he should have done better. And Prado pleased that he's got that gap down to 7 as we head to round 13.
Welcome back to our studio show here, round 13 of the FI Motocross World Championship MXGP of Asia. Tim Geiser, Team HRC, joins us now. And Tim, first of all, what did you do after Pankau Penang? Did you stay out and enjoy some time off, or have you just kind of been on it?
Yeah, we stay a couple of days more there on that island with all the team, with all my teammates, with Calvin and Todd. So we spent a couple of days relaxing and also training hard. So yeah, it was good.
I know we're in the middle of the season, but when you take time out, is it important for you to do that? Or do you sort of, when you're through the season, do you very rarely take any time off? How does it work with you in terms of training, time off, preparing, the mental thing?
Actually, not so many times. Like I just keep training hard because I know that beginning of the season for me was not the best, and I still feel that I'm not 100%. So I still have to train hard every weekend, every day, to come in the good shape like I was in the past.
And from a racing point of view, would you say that this is perhaps the most difficult season you've experienced as a racer, would you say?
Yeah, I would say it is, sure. You know, I have a tough beginning of the season, but anyway, you know, now with every race we are getting better. I feel more comfortable on the bike. You know, starting to enjoy again on the races, and yeah, it's getting in the right direction.
And how important was that first podium for you in Portugal? I guess it gave you that confidence boost that you needed at that time.
Sure, you know, it's always nice to be on the podium, you know, but still, you know, we can see that Jeffrey and Tony, they are like one step ahead of us, so we still have to work really hard. You know, we are, I would say that I have a good bike. I'm really happy with the bike. I just have to work on myself. I feel that I still have a lot of room to be even better, so yeah.
All right, we'll look more from Tim in a moment. Let's just tell you about our mid-season package that we're still running here on MXGP TV. Check this out. Well, if you're loving the action so far in this year's World Championship, then why not make the most of our fantastic offer on MXGP TV, where we are still offering you the chance to take full advantage of our mid-season package, where you can purchase the MXGP TV Season Pass at a 50% discount. Isn't that right, Lisa?
Absolutely. You will have access to all the action from MXGP, MX2, WMX, including every round of the EMX 125s, 250s and 300s live and on demand, which also includes the first 12 rounds. This package also includes the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Redbud in October for €65. So what are you waiting for? For more info, go to mxgptv.com. Okay, well, back to Tim. Tim, the season so far, you've had 3 visits to the podium, your last being in France. But you mentioned the KTM boys earlier.
Yeah.
You've proved that you can actually beat them. You proved that in Agado in Portugal in the qualifying race. So it is possible, isn't it?
I think everything is possible. Just you know, they are just on the run. They are in good shape and everything. Just for us, I think we are like now four riders like myself, Roman, Clermont, and Gauthier. That we are like kind of the same speeds. So. We are trying definitely to came closer to them, you know, to start fighting for a win. So.
Yeah.
Well, last weekend, obviously, Team HRC had a major boost with Calvin winning, took his first race, first Vauxhall shot, first overall Grand Prix victory. Has that had a real boost on the team coming into this one, and you know how everybody's approached this week? Because I guess everybody's on a real high, even in your side of the garage in MXGP.
Sure, it's always nice to win the overall. Actually, for Calvin, that was a special one because it was the first one. So he really deserved it because he worked hard. I already see that he can do well in the preseason, you know, because he was really fast, he was confident and everything. So, you know, now he proved and he showed to himself that he can do it. He have a speed and everything. that he can win the races, win the GPs, and sure, I think that's a big confidence booster.
All right.
Yeah, it was a great moment. Okay, well, we have a couple of questions on social media for you, Tim. The first one's from Morissette Jocelyn Morissette. She says, you, Cairoli and Febvre have all been world champions, but none of you took the #1 plate. And Jonas did this year. Is that a personal choice for you as a rider?
Yeah, definitely. That's a personal choice. I will never change my number 243 because it's it means a lot to me, and you know, yeah, that's why I always ride with that number.
What if there was pressure to, you know, not just you but for everybody? If you're world champion, you have to ride #1.
I will do everything to keep my one.
It's not going to happen. No. It's not going to happen. Okay, another question. Jerry O'Nilson, how far from 100% are you since your injury? If not 100%, then what kind of obstacles are bothering you the most?
Actually, like from injury, I still don't feel part of the jaw because the nerve were like completely destroyed. So, but that doesn't bothering me too much anymore because I get used to. Just like I would say, you know, the mental side. I think physically I feel good. I feel ready. Just the mental side is where I have to work harder.
Yeah.
And what about the track here? Obviously, and the weather, first of all. Pankal Pinang last week, we always had the threat of rain. It was always very humid. How are you finding the weather here in Semarang?
I think it's more kind of Europe. You know, it's quite drier than it was in Penang. It's a little bit warmer, hotter, but you know, I was feeling good in the free practice, so the track looks amazing, and it was amazing when I ride it. So yeah, I like it.
It looks like it's quite hard packed though. Is that more your style, little throttle control?
Yeah, I like that kind of tracks. It reminds me to Leon track, you know, Mexico. It's quite hard packed. Looks like a lot of grip, but it's like quite slick, quite slippery.
Looks like when they water it, it's going to be very shiny to start with. Is there much dirt on top that you can chase to the outside, or?
I think the track is quite wide, so you have like we will have quite many line selections, so I think it's going to be really important to find the grip, you know, not go in the shiny places.
And how's the first corner? Because it's slightly downhill, immediately into the wave section.
Yeah, it's
over the foxhole shot line. It's going to be tight there, isn't it? Because that first one is also very slippery.
You mean the first one after?
Here, yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure. You know, they put a lot of water and was quite slippery, but also already some rods came out, and you know, you can make a nice corner. Yeah, so it's quite okay.
No. And then obviously we head back in 2 weeks' time to Loket, Czech Republic. We'll be back home in Europe.
Yeah.
A venue you're looking forward to? A track you look forward to?
Sure. You know, it's always nice to go in Czech. Also, many fans from Slovenia came there. It's quite close to Slovenia, and yeah, also the track I like, hard pack, stony a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking for.
All right. Well, look, Tim Geiser, Team HRC, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll be back in a moment with Jeremy Seawer, our final guest. But before we do, let's check out some highlights from MXGP Race 2 from Pankal Pinang. What was it, the MXGP of Indonesia? Here it is. Anyway, it's coming up next.
At the drop of the gate in race 2, it looked like Tony Cairoli got the better of his teammate, but it once again Jeffrey Hurlings, who was lucky to stay up as he crossed the foxhole shot line for the 6th time in 2018. But by the time we reached turn 2, Hurlings had lost a position or two. Cairoli led, but before the end of the first lap, Tim Geiser from out of nowhere was the rider doing all the passing. He was suddenly the new race leader. Cairoli was 2nd, Hurlings was 3rd. Febvre, Paulin and Koldenhoff running out the top 6. Hurlings, though, struck early, found his way past his teammate, and a couple of turns later did the same as he passed the Slovenian on the Honda. An emphatic battle ensued then between Cairoli and Geiser. The Sicilian did not want to let his teammate off the hook. It took a while, but eventually Cairoli did make the pass stick. And once he was there, he started to home in on Jeffrey Hurlings, but only by a couple of tenths of a second per lap. The Bullet, riding with a broken collarbone, was making it very difficult for the Sicilian, who made more than one mistake as he tried to close down on the number 84. He picked himself up from a spectacular crash, regrouped, found his way back past Geiser and back into second. He had to do it all again. Geiser was then in a battle with Fevre as they fought over third place. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider did eventually make the pass stick and bring his Yamaha home in third place as Koldenhoff rounded out the top 5 in race 2 for Red Bull KTM. The two Rockstar Energy Husqvarnas of Gauthier Paulin and Max Anstey traded positions in the latter half of the race. Anstey got the better of Paulin to finish in 6th, as Bobryshev carved his way into 9th with that pass on Jeremy Seewer for Wilvo Yamaha. Hurlings, with 3 laps to go though, threw away a golden opportunity. That handed the lead to Kai Rowley. Then it looked like Hurlings would settle for second, but another mistake in the same place from Kai Rowley allowed the 84 to go back through, and from there he never looked back. And Hurlings went on to take his 17th race win of the season. The superhero Hurlings picked up the overall victory here and maintains the championship lead over Kai Rowley by 12 points. De Sal stays third. For Hurlings, it was win number 76 in his career, his 9th win of the season. Joining him on the podium, Tony Kai Rowley and Roman Fevre, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, 5th and 3rd this weekend. But as we head to Samarang, Jeffrey Hurlings continues to hold all the aces in MXGP.
Welcome back to Semarang, round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. It's the MXGP of Asia, folks, and our third and final guest, Jeremy Seewer from Wilvo Yamaha, official MXGP, joins us now. And first question, and I've seen it pop up a lot of times. Welcome to our studio show, first of all. Why do they call you the Smurf?
Yeah, someone in the teams, I think Sean, it was Sean started it, you know. Since I'm on Yamaha, you know, blue bike, and I'm not the tallest guy, you know, and the Smurfs are very little, and that's how it came up, you know.
So, back-to-back weekends here, though, in Indonesia. What did you do this week? I saw a lot of guys went out to Bali. Did you go there? How was it if you did? If you didn't, what did you do?
I went to Bali as well, yes. I have my girlfriend with me, plus a really good friend of mine, and we just, you know, relaxed a bit.
Microphones.
Yes,
Oh, we're back.
yeah,
We're back. Sorry about that.
I did my training, some running, some swimming, and we had a really nice hotel, and I just tried to calm down as the season is, you know, pretty tough at the moment, and I just enjoyed some time off, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, back to business. How have you find racing in the MXGP class this year as a class rookie?
It's tough, you know, coming from MX2, changing brand, changing the class and stuff. It's definitely, you know, the fastest guys, yeah, I've ever raced out there, you know, like I saw the MX2 is on a high level, and it is on a high level, but MXGP, you know, the intensity is just, yeah, another step more, you know, but it's a lot of fun, you know. I enjoy racing. It's fun battles, you know, and it's just like, yeah, I get used to race to race and try to get better and better, but it's definitely, yeah, no jokes out there in MXGP, you know.
And apart from your crash in Argentina, are you pleased with where you're at? Because you're actually the highest ranked non-factory rider in 8th.
Yeah, that's true, you know. I crashed in Argentina being actually very well placed already at the first round, but I didn't really expect like that, as I was still, you know, getting the bike dialed in, testing a lot, getting used to the 450, and I started it really well, and yeah, I just had that crash. But beside that, I'm pretty happy. Let's say like this. Of course, yeah. I want to have more. I won like 5 GPs last year and lots of podiums in MX2, and to finish in 8 or be in 8 in the championship doesn't make me happy at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just a procedure I have to go through and learn, you know. I can't make 5 steps in 2 months, you know. So I just yeah, take my time, you know, and try and get closer and closer, and that's what I'm doing, you know.
Well, in Lombardia, you obviously experienced some time at the front with a qualifying race. You led for 4 or 5 laps before Roman came past. How good did it feel to be back there in the sharp end, as you just said, maybe where you kind of feel you belong?
Really, really good. Like, it felt actually really natural, even, like, you know, I wasn't nervous. It just felt like last year, you know.
Yeah.
That was the good thing. I have the experience to be up front, so I just enjoyed it a lot, and to finish second there in the quali race was just a good, really good yeah, boost, you know. And I know I can do it in MXGP as well, because moving up to MXGP from MX2, it's a big step, and to get that confidence and know you can beat those guys, it's really good for the mind, you know.
Yeah, and like I say, I guess it's good for confidence, because not only were you leading, you got second in the quali race, your best qualifying race of the year, but it was also your best GP as well. You got a 5th in race 2, 6th overall, and another sign that you're making good, positive progress.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we still do some testings, and we definitely made another step before Ottobiano, actually, and I couldn't really bring it to the first round in Indonesia, but I have a feeling, you know, we are closer. The first, let's say 5-10 GPs, I was always the guy right behind the factory guys, you know, like Lisa said, but now we are right in the mix a bit, you know. I'm just that much closer, you know. We can't talk about a podium yet, but the top 5s we are around there, you know, and this is pretty good, I think.
Good.
And how was last weekend? Because it seemed like a lot of the top guys actually struggled in Pankal, including you. Why was that?
It's just, you know...
I mean, this is the second race. Good start around the outside, but you watch closely, you bounce the tabletop here, you lose positions, and then the next left after the Dragon's back, again, you kind of, you know, just ran into trouble, and I don't know, it just didn't seem to click.
No, it just didn't, you know, work out. On Saturday, I had a start being like in 5th as well, and after 3 corner, I was placed in P14, you know, like just out of a sudden, and it's just a tricky track, you know, all those ruts, the humidity makes it really special, you know, and it just, it didn't click, you know. I had the speed, I could go for top 5s with the speed I had, but just I need to put the package together, like start, first few laps, speed plus fitness, you know, and I have all of it, but I can't bring it to the gate in every moto like I did in Ottobiano.
But, okay, we're back. Sorry if you didn't get that. So, yeah, you didn't have the speed like in Ottobiano.
Yes, I didn't have the package, you know, like in Ottobiano. I have everything, like start, first few laps being aggressive, fitness for the whole race, plus the speed, but just you need to bring it, you know, to the gate. That's the point, what I struggle sometimes, you know.
Okay, well, Jeremy, we have a couple questions on social media for you.
Oh, they're good ones.
The first one's from Sammy Jane, 39. She says, do you have any rituals you do on race day, like lucky pants or anything like that?
Lucky socks, lucky underpants, anything like that?
Not completely crazy, but San Tibiano, my butt patch was the wrong way around. They made a mistake, actually. And I've been second in the quali race, so I think I'm going to keep using my butt patch the wrong way.
That's a good one. Okay, and I've got another one here from some guy called Hunter Lawrence.
Hunter?
He says, do you still rub banana skin all over your body to help your endurance and to stop your sweat from smelling bad?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, really?
I heard that's what the Aussies do. I heard he taught you how to do that.
Yeah, he told me that. He did it all his life. He said, you got to do this, and works. Works, I tell you guys.
Whatever.
Well, look, we are almost out of time here. Just quick thoughts on the track. Hard pack, something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it reminds me to Brazil some years ago, some red kind of dirt, really hard packed actually. I'm curious how like the dirt is gonna like react on water, on whatever, you know, but some nice jumps, some good flow, pretty fast, and we will see how it is for racing, but I think it's definitely a lot of fun to ride, you know.
All right, well, look, Jeremy's here. Thanks for joining us here. Of course, thanks to Jeremy, thanks to, who do we have? Tim and Paul's Jonas. And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks when we return to Europe in Lockett, Czech Republic, round 14. But that's all we've got time for today. Of course, all the qualifying races are live around 2:25 this afternoon and 3:10 for MX2 and MXGP. And catch us tomorrow on the race as well for MXGPTV.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.